All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a monster that's so much more than just a monster. We're going inside that pyramid helmet and into the mind that created one of the most unforgettable figures in all of horror. You know, for over 2 decades now, this thing has been haunting the fog-drenched streets of Silent Hill. He's an absolute masterpiece of creature design, for sure. But his real horror isn't about jump scares. No, it's about what he actually represents. So what's he really all about? To figure that out, you gotta look past all the gore and the rust and look directly into the broken mind of the man he's tormenting, James Sunderland. Because see, Pyramid Head isn't just trying to kill James. He's screaming a truth that James just can't stand to hear. And the key to this whole thing, well, it's not found in some old horror movie trope. Nope, it's actually found in the work of Sigmund Freud. So Freud had this idea, right, that our minds are kind of split into 3 parts. You've got the id, which is all your primal desires, the ego, which is your day-to-day self, and then there's the superego. And that last one, that's the one we need to talk about. It's basically your inner judge. It's that voice in your head that tells you you've messed up, the part that demands you be punished for it. Okay, so how does any of this connect to a terrifying giant with a huge knife? Well, if you look at the academic takes on this, he's not really an out-there monster. He's something that came from inside James. He is literally the physical form of James Sunderland's own massive self-destructive guilt. See, here's the thing about James. He thinks he came to Silent Hill because his wife, Mary, died from an illness a few years back. But that's a total lie he's telling himself. The awful truth, the one he's buried so deep he doesn't even know it's there, he's the one who killed her. He smothered her with a pillow. Pyramid Head exists for one reason: to make James remember, and to make him suffer for that crime. Every single time he shows up, it's a brutal reminder of what he did. But hold on, because this isn't just some dusty psychological theory. The echoes of this exact kind of inner pain, well, they show up in a place you would never, ever expect to look. The world of poetry. Okay, you're going to want to stick with me on this one because this is where things get, well, honestly, a little wild. We found a connection that adds this whole other layer to Pyramid Head, and it suggests these ideas are way more universal than you'd think. All right, listen to this line. It's from a poem by a Turkish poet, Segay Bakırdöven. Now, this guy had zero connection to the game whatsoever, but he wrote, "You head towards numinal sense in the shadow of the pyramid." I mean, come on, that is a perfect description of James's journey, right? He's being drawn to this supernatural place, Silent Hill, all while living under the shadow of the pyramid, his own oppressive, ever-present guilt. And it gets weirder. Another one of his poems has this line: "The candles of the Silent Hill are covered in tar, the idols." It's uncanny. You have both the game and this poem from totally different worlds, using this idea of a silent hill to talk about a place of like spiritual rot and hidden truths. It's like they're both speaking the same secret language of despair. So here's the really crucial point. You've got these 2 completely separate things, dense psychological theory on one hand, and this really beautiful evocative poetry on the other. And they're both painting a picture of the exact same internal psychological space. And get this line from Bakırdöven: "Broken mirrors dissolve beyond the ego." I mean, that's just stunning when you think about it. What's the very first shot of the game? It's James staring into a grimy mirror, right? At his own broken reflection. The broken mirror isn't just some cool visual. It's the perfect metaphor for his shattered psyche, a sense of self that's just dissolved into denial. And that's because the entire town, the whole other world, is just a projection of what's going on inside James's head. The other characters he meets, they're not really people. They're just reflections of parts of himself he can't face. Angela is his despair and trauma. Eddie, he's all of James's repressed violence and simmering anger. This right here is a fantastic example. This monster, the abstract Dottie, is literally born from Angela's trauma of being abused, but James is the one who has to fight it. So he's first to confront this horrifying form of suffering that, in a weird way, kind of mirrors his own. The whole town makes your inner pain terrifyingly real. Okay, so we've got the guilt, we've got the punisher, we've got this shattered psyche. Let's see how this all comes together for the game's absolutely incredible ending. The game basically spells it out for you with this quote from Nietzsche. James's whole trip is him literally descending into his own abyss, into that dark, buried part of his mind where the truth is hiding. So when you see him navigating these maze-like prisons, he's not just in some creepy basement. He's journeying into his own unconscious. This whole place is a prison he built for himself, and it's where he created his own jailer, Pyramidhead. And then comes the turning point. He finally remembers everything. He accepts it. And he turns to these two pyramid heads that are attacking him, and he says something amazing. He says, "I needed someone to punish me for my sins, but not anymore." He's finally facing his own darkness. And at that moment, the superego's job is done. The second he accepts his own guilt, he doesn't need a punisher anymore. And what happens? The pyramid heads just stop. They turn away and kill themselves. Their purpose is fulfilled, so they just cease to exist. It just makes you think, right? If our own minds can dream up a monster this terrifying just to punish ourselves, what does it actually take to finally forgive ourselves? This whole journey shows us that Pyramid Head was never really the true monster of Silent Hill. He was just a symptom. Turns out, the scariest horrors are always the ones we make for ourselves.